We are gathering here today because we want to support the peaceful protesters in Syria who are non-violently standing in the face of a brutal dictatorship that is relying on arms to maintain the status quo and to maintain its grip on power, while the Syrian people are completely committed to non-violence and peace. Are you noticing what is happening in Syria now? The Syrian regime wanted to turn it into Libya. And the Syrian people have committed to non-violence and therefore are managing to keep it like Egypt. And they're succeeding in doing this because of the willingness to give their blood. We stand in humility today for the amazing, great sacrifices these beautiful people are giving to freedom in Syria. We stand with them because these young people are saying, we want to create a better future for our children and grandchildren. In the 60s, a black woman called Rosa Parks on a bus in Montgomery refused to stand and give up her seat to a white man, because at the time black people were not allowed to sit if a white man was standing, and she refused to give up her seat. It was a simple act. It was an act of disobedience, yet it changed the history of the United States, and today there's a black president in the White House. The first martyr in Islam is a black woman. She was killed under torture for non-violently defying the elites of Mecca. The Prophet Muhammad was passing by her and he never told her, hey you are a woman, go back home. He never said that. He actually said to her and to her family, patience, patience, people of Yasser, for your destination is in paradise. That's how Islam was founded. Through the commitment of its beautiful people to non-violence. And today we remember the black slave Bilal, who under the rock said, one, because he refused to obey the elites of Mecca. And today from Syria we hear the echoes. One. The Syrian people are one.
One. Syrian people are one.
واحد. الشعب السوري واحد.
واحد. الشعب السوري واحد. واحد. الشعب السوري واحد. واحد. الشعب السوري واحد.
And so from Alabama, from Mecca, from the moment Socrates also committed to the rule of law, from the moment of the Buddha's awakening, from the moment Jesus said to the people who were persecuting him and crucifying him, Lord, forgive them for they don't know, to the moment of Muhammad, who committed to non-violence, to all the reformers and prophets throughout history who were lone figures. What we are seeing today is that their beautiful echoes have reached the far edges of the galaxy and they're echoing back in large waves in Tunisia and Cairo and Yemen and Damascus, and they are saying peacefully, silmiya. They are creating something very beautiful. This is not just about the Arab world. This is a global revolution in human consciousness. Today in Duma, the protesters were carrying a large banner which read, if you shall raise your hand to kill me, I shall not raise my hand to kill you. لئن بسطت يدك إلي لتقتلني ما أنا بباسط يدي إليك لأقتلك. This is a verse from the Quran, from a passage in which the two sons of Adam, which is also known in the Bible, confront each other, and one brother says to the other, I shall kill you, لأقتلنك. And the other brother, and in the Quranic passage, the light or the camera zooms in into the conversation and we hear the encounter. And so when one brother says, I shall kill you, the other brother says, if you shall raise your hand to kill me, I shall not raise my hand to kill you. And in that moment, a new species of humanity rises to a new level of consciousness in which one side refuses self-defense and transcends even the need for survival and moves into a new level of compassion and love and change through peaceful means. And this is what's happening in the world, and it will spread around. Gandhi did it in India, but unfortunately many of us forgot his message, and it happened again in North America with Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, and it happened again in Eastern Europe, and it happened so many places. So it keeps coming up, and at some point we will finally realize we are all becoming the other brother who says, I shall not raise my hand to kill you, even if you're going to kill me. Inni akhafullah Rabbil Alameen, for I fear the Lord, and which means that my fear of harming you is greater than my fear of death, because death is not shameful. We're all going to die, but harming another person or another human being or nature is a choice. And in declining to harm other people, we move into a new way of consciousness. This is what's happening in the Arab world. We are moving to democracy by committing to nonviolence. And the work is yet to come, because after the collapse of these regimes, we have to work to create pluralistic societies, secular, civil, in which all of us live together beautifully, peacefully, and to prosper, to dedicate our energies to raising consciousness about the environment and about creativity and about the arts, instead of putting these energies into killing each other and suppressing each other. We need to put all these energies into making this planet a beautiful planet in which we can all live together as brothers and sisters, as the children of God. Thank you so much for coming out today. And there are thousands of Syrians in this city who are still feel for
حرية وبس الله سوريا 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 حرية وبس.
We live in a city where thousands of Syrians live, and it is a sign of the 50 years of emergency law we live. Be gentle with them, talk to them, inform them. Slowly, gently, they will start coming out, because we have been put in the freezer for 50 years. This beautiful giant was frozen for 50 years, don't forget. And this beautiful, handsome, gorgeous giant is awakening and slowly moving. So be supportive of members in the community. They will start coming out in larger and larger numbers, and they are terrified. We have been terrorized, we have been scared, we have been imprisoned, we have been persecuted, we have been tortured for 50 years. Forgive them, forgive everyone. Let's start a new page, let's turn a new page. We have lived in Canada and we have seen how democracy works, and we need to create a new face of Syria in which we resort to persuasion and peace and justice, and no longer to the power of the bullets. We want to live in a society where we resort to the power of words and of compassion. So please, please, let's remember that what is to come is really the next phase, in which we need to support each other as a community and also inside Syria. And for those outside Syria, we need to commit to helping the Syrian people keep their non-violent path, and to commit to this even after the revolution. We have the model of Nelson Mandela, who created a beautiful transition to democracy, and he did not create a system in which they were haunting all the other people who had caused so much damage. We need to turn a new page in Syria. I hope we all commit to this and create a new future for our children and grandchildren. Thank you for all those who came out today.
واحد 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 الشعب السوري واحد. واحد واحد واحد. الشعب السوري واحد.
علوا الصوت علوا الصوت.
علوا الصوت علوا الصوت.
السوري ما بيهاب الموت.
السوري ما بيهاب الموت.
علوا الصوت علوا الصوت.
علوا الصوت علوا الصوت.
السوري ما بيهاب الموت.
السوري ما بيهاب الموت.
وينك يا حرية وينك؟
وينك يا حرية وينك؟
حطوا عساكر بيني وبينك.
حطوا عساكر بيني وبينك.
سلمية سلمية.
سلمية سلمية.
حتى تعود الحرية.
حتى تعود الحرية.
ما بدنا طائفية.
ما بدنا طائفية.
إسلام ومسيحية.
إسلام ومسيحية.
من حلب لحوران.
من حلب لحوران.
نحن بدنا السلمية.
نحن بدنا السلمية.
ما في خوف بعد اليوم.
ما في خوف بعد اليوم.
ما في خوف ما في خوف.
ما في خوف ما في خوف.
ما في خوف شو ما صار.
ما في خوف شو ما صار.